Hello, I'm romance author Lori Thorne. Welcome to my writing vlog, Good Time Writing. We are on location in the bedroom today, so scene change. Today I want to talk about more social media. So last week I talked about batching as an author in particular. And this week, because of the batching I did before, I released one of those videos this past week. It was one that I really loved and it came out like very professional and clean and good looking, and I was excited about it. So I thought I'm gonna throw this some money on TikTok and make it into an ad. Now, I have done ads before on TikTok and Meta and Amazon and pretty much any place you can take out an ad for. I don't have a ton of money to spend on it, so they're always these little one-shot things, and I've been collecting data over time. So I just want to talk today about the recent ad that I did last week on TikTok. So TikTok has different types of ads. You can either go for views or go for followers, or if you have a TikTok shop, you can go for sales. Now, I have recently, my very first TikTok ad adventure was for followers. That was a few months ago, and it was really successful. To me, I have a small account. I was kind of stuck in the 2,000 range, and that ad seemed to just really kick things off. I only ran it for a day. I'm almost to 3,000 now. That's cool. Anyway, I'll wrap around back to this because we're going to compare a little bit. This ad, and it's also cheaper to do for views. And I thought, if I do an ad that is getting a lot of views, surely that would also lead to followers. It makes sense to me. However, that is not the case, at least not for this experience. So let me tell you what happened. I've got it jotted down. I'm gonna look down here. So it was almost $20, like $19 and change. The video I just ran it for 24 hours. It got 4,700 views, which my usual views are around 400 to 500, sometimes lower, sometimes a little higher, but we're in that range. There were 13 saves, which was I was excited for because I think that those could convert to sales potentially. There was only one follow. There were 14 profile views. Remember that. There was 194 likes on that ad. So all that said, that's pretty cool for my account. However, the profile views in particular, I want to go back to them because when I get profile views, I always investigate those. And if it's someone who has like a book emoji in their name, or it says author or reader or book talk or anything that I can discern that I know that these are readers or in the bookish community, I follow them. And almost all the time they follow me back. And that's cool. I've met lots of different people that way. I've gotten to know people and we become closer friends. So I love doing that, and it's good for both of our accounts. These people, these 14 profile views, nothing bookish related, nothing reader related, at least that I could see that was obvious. It doesn't mean that they're not readers. They're just not advertising that about themselves in their profile. So coming back to compare, even though it's slightly more expensive to run an ad for aiming to get followers, the followers I gained from that previous ad were book talk, author talk people, very overtly. And so I feel like I will get more support in the future from their interactions than I did from this one. So trying to go for followers, again, a little bit more expensive, but probably worth it is what I am learning for myself. The other thing I'll mention here, and this is always a point of frustration to me because I love data. And when you run an ad on TikTok, there are ways you can do it on Meta that maybe you get some data back. You can't tell when a direct conversion happens. I mean, unless someone goes into your comments and they're like, I just ordered this book, it's guesswork. So I tried when I ran this ad to not post any other thing about enchanting elixirs, and to do the least and just kind of let that 24-hour period see what happens for sales. Other people, 2 other people did post about enchanting elixirs to recommend it as a good, cozy autumn read. And so that was wonderful, and thank you, I love you. It did a little bit muddy the waters, maybe. And of course, I have a newsletter that goes out every other week, and there's no way I can stop that train, so it's hard to know. I will say that there was not a big boost in sales. There was a slight boost in page reads, but that could have come from the ad or anything else. So I don't know. Oh, I noted here too that followers on Facebook also more valuable to me anyway than I've ever made in the sales from trying to go that route. So this is not just a TikTok thing. This is something I've learned before, but on Facebook. Anyway, there you have it. I do have a Vote Your WIP for you today. In fact, I have written so much this week, and I got to the chapter I was really, really waiting for in HOA of Horror, and I just finished it yesterday, and it's so good. I'm a little bit worried about the shape of my story. I might make a video about this in the coming weeks, because this is after the middle of the story, but it's not the apex that you would want at the end, because we still have a while to go. And I worry that this chapter was so exciting and so much happened that it feels more like the end, like a cumulative sort of coming together closing chapter than it would be in the middle. Anyway, I have the Vote Your WIP. Let's do it. That's right. She didn't have time for arson right now because she was already setting out to infiltrate a private party, find Chris without getting thrown out, and secretly record the delivery of Laura's divorce papers to him. Option 2. Mabel thought Chris had the emotional intelligence of a seagull. Yeah. And 3. Finn looked at her. She was beautiful, dressed to the nines, skin radiant. He felt nothing but disappointment. Which is your favorite line? Let me know in the comments. And if you got anything from this, please give me a follow. I'll see you next time.